A little late start, a little technical difficulties, as you know, we've known to have in the past. So,
Yep.
oh my god,
Nothing new. It's nothing new.
Well, changing up things kind of does that too. So,
Oh yeah. Every time it seems like you like make
we hear
any adjustments or look at something wrong, it throws settings off and
right,
everything else. Because hell, even me, like the last couple of weeks, I was out in the living room. Today I'm back in the quote unquote office. We had a kid come back home. Couple weeks, find another place to stay, move back out. So I mean, we've been moving computers from
right,
bedroom to the living
same.
room. So I mean, picking up and moving all of this stuff, from one room to the other and back again, got to make sure you get everything plugged back in right the way you had it the first time. And so, I mean, you never can tell. You never can tell.
Well, as you can see, I'm in a different location too. So it's kind of been moving everything up here from downstairs and hopefully we don't have any Wi-Fi issues. If we do, I apologize, and we'll definitely take care of that by the next show for sure. But I definitely didn't want anything like this to go on a day that we had a freaking interview. So
right,
they're like, "Oh, these guys are real professional." Yeah. Yes. So, but anyway, you guys obviously know we on a special day and time because we're accommodating for a guest today over in Milano, Italy. A band that I got turned on to by Scarlet Records. They've definitely been dumping music in our laps on our email. So
yes,
it's good to finally hook up with a band from their label. So we'll bring them in now. Hey, welcome.
Hey guys. Hey, nice to see you.
Yeah, finally.
Finally, yeah.
Yeah. I moved my office so like nothing was connecting right for some reason. So I was like, oh crap, this is nothing. Like I had it all. I did a test run on it, and it was fine. And now like day of the show it was like stupid. So
yeah,
it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. No worries.
No worries. Can you hear us good, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can. We can hear you fine. Yeah, you guys have been sitting there for the last 15 minutes watching me just go, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
We had a couple of beers.
We had a couple of beers
waiting for you
guys.
Everything is fine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we're over here drinking coffee because it's morning here. So
yeah. Funny. The ironic thing is I don't drink coffee or beer. So I mean I don't drink either. So yeah. So I'm just kind of sitting here going, we'll get started eventually, maybe.
So you're an atypical metalhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit.
I'm glad we got everything worked out. I was kind of surprised that everything kind of worked out as fast as it did because I wasn't expecting to do anything this quick. So we appreciate the flexibility with everything.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure for us. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess the first question would be I could probably take your guys' name and probably get a hint of why you come up with Never Obey Again, but it's always better to get it from the source. So so what was up with choosing that name?
All right, so I go. You go.
It's the same for me. Ladies first.
Ladies first. Okay, my vision is because we started like 10 years ago or more than 10 years ago to play music, especially in entertainment business, just, to pay bills. And when you are in entertainment business and you do cover, so you have to make everybody happy with things that maybe you don't like. So this time we really need to start again in a real way, doing the things that we love the most, and it's metal music. And so we decided to choose this name, like Never Obey Again, just to do whatever we want with no limits, with anyone telling us what music we have to play, which kind of songs we have to write. So this is, I think, the main reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's let's say uncontaminated and no compromised written music. So yeah, as Carol said, basically we have been kind of fed up with the let's say that since we do this thing as a job, we're not lucky enough to say that we have other jobs and then we also play music as a side job or a hobby. We had to dig deep and just find a way to make a living out of it, and we did. But yeah, in a way that was not, it still is not very pleasant to us, because of course we have to accommodate a lot of the requests of whether it's corporate events or business related type of things, and we have just to play music for those clients. And now we had the chance to start over with a new project, and we said just let's do whatever the F we want to do, and with no compromises at all. So can I swear, or actually?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
We're explicit, so
Good to know.
Yeah, there's
compromises.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see that? Yeah, that's a lot.
Well, we look at it as, even if we don't, sometimes we know we're interviewing metal bands. That's going to happen. So.
Oh yeah, no, there's no. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, we don't have any censorship here. It would be kind of ironic, as a heavy metal podcast, to have to tell.
Yeah.
Metal bands, you can't say fuck. So so that would be.
It's 90% of the lyrics of it.
It really is.
But in real world, we're really polite, and we just act like metalheads, but then we are pretty loser, like
teddy bears.
Absolutely. Well,
teddy bears.
Well, everyone says that about Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, and then all you see on social media is pictures of him with arms full of goddamn teddy bears that he's about to donate to a children's hospital. So
yeah, and then he sings "I Come Blood."
Exactly. Yeah. It's like it's pretty much the definition of irony. So
that's it.
If you could die by irony, that would be a great way.
There would be worse ways to go. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, good thing for you guys is we don't like to obey either. So.
Okay, cool. So we have something in common.
We're very, very rebellious with certain things, especially when it comes to the music side of stuff. So
yes,
of course,
yes, we are.
We're on the same page. We're all metalheads, so we are.
That's right.
Right.
And I apologize. I guess I was kind of rude. I know, of course, Carolina, because she's the only female in the band, but I don't know faces yet with you guys, because it was kind of just threw upon us. So if you want to introduce yourselves to the people.
Yeah, definitely. Me myself, I'm Alex. I'm the guitar player, and
I'm Carol. I'm the singer.
And of course we have other members of the band, but today they were not available. We're all in Italy and kind of nearby in the same area, but it's Saturday, so one it's in a holiday in this moment, the other one is having his own thing to do. So we just let's take this chance to, because as a couple it's much more easy to find us two together. So,
and plus, let's say that we are the only two that understand pretty much what you are saying, because the other guys don't speak English that much. So it happens that we very, very Italian. So we skip that thing and just we try to do our best to look less Italian as we can. But
we could switch the interview with a very different accent
if you want.
Right. We can definitely be understandable, but you will guess very easily the nationality. You know what I mean, right?
So it's good to know if we ever get death threats, we got a fan now that can call up people that, hey, get my guys down there, we're gonna fuck you up.
We're gonna take care of the motherfucker.
That's
I'm
great.
Gonna bury him in my garden and cook pasta.
These flowers look better than the rest of them. Why? Because the
Guess why?
fertilizer a little better over there.
But don't threaten me with pasta though. I'm not even kidding. I could eat pasta every day. I love Italian food. It's so good.
Tell us about it.
Something.
Tell us about it.
It is so good.
Yeah.
God,
and it's funny. It's funny. I always see like thin Italian people, and I'm like, they must not eat the food there, because
I'd be as big as a house if I spent any time over there in Italy. I would.
I actually am. So I'm 110 kg, 6'3". It's terrible. It's just not. It's not working. So they feed us from the young age with this carbohydrate stuff, and you grow bigger until you understand that you cannot grow any taller. You just grow larger.
Go the other way. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so difficult to.
So, where are you from, guys? In the are you both in the U.S.?
Yeah. We're actually we're close to Nashville, Tennessee. So.
Oh,
So
nice,
cool.
so cool.
Yeah, we actually live about 3 miles from each other. We live in the same town. We've been friends for about 15 years.
Okay.
And I'm not from Tennessee originally. I'm originally from Michigan, about a half an hour outside of Detroit. But Jason and I have been friends for about 15 years, and we met through a mutual friend who's also a metalhead. And it just kind of took off from there. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's a very, Tennessee in general is one of those places that probably it's one of the most vibrant for the music scene. Don't get me wrong, Italy's the worst one. So even the most terrible city in the US will be better, music wise, for the metal scene. But I know.
Everyone does know Tennessee because of Memphis too, a little bit, because you got the blues scene out there in Memphis, but Nashville is called Music City, and for a reason. But everyone's mind automatically goes, for good reason, because of the Grand Ole Opry and the Ryman and everything. It goes to country music, and that was the case for a long time, in the early half of the last century and stuff like that, in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. But like I say, I've lived here since 1993. So I've been here for 30 years, and I've seen it come up a lot, because when I moved here I was 15. So I went to my first concert when I was, how old was I? 17, when I was finally able to, pay for my own tickets and drive myself to a gig and shit like that. So, I went to my first concert with actually the mutual friend that introduced Jason and I. We went to Nashville. We went to see Pantera and White Zombie. That was my first concert here. But So but the overall scene in Nashville from then to now has really evolved. It's not just country music anymore. I would say it's probably still predominantly country, but if you ever come to the States and you get downtown, you walk down the main thoroughfare down towards the riverfront area where all the touristy stuff is. There are live bars that line both sides of the main street.
Yeah.
And
our friends told.
Yeah, many friends told us.
Yeah.
Okay. It's something we'd really like to experience once in a while.
Of course.
We came to the States just a couple of times. Typical Italian coming to the States. So we went to LA, visiting like all the 80s rock scene, right?
Right.
So you go to the Whiskey Go-Go, you go to the Viper Room, you go to the Roxy Bar, you go to the Rainbow, whatever. And then we went to Vegas. So
and Las Vegas, of course.
Vegas, because that's it. I went to Coachella once, and that's it. So that's all we know about the US.
But we would love to explore US, but with the band. This is our big dream.
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
with the band. No holidays.
That's
just
the main goal.
Touring. That's it.
On a business trip. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be the best thing.
I don't know about Chris, but I could probably say too. I probably could say that I would want to be in your guys' shoes as well, because I've never been to Italy, and I was like,
right? Yeah.
It's one of the places.
Grass is always greener.
Grass is always greener.
Always greener.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it's like anywhere. I think it's anywhere you go. Is like if you're like there all the time, it's like, well, you're telling people, it's just Italy, but people that's not been there is just like, just like with you coming to the States, we're like, it's nothing special, but you guys could, see a lot of stuff that we probably don't, because we don't.
it's just
I guess
different.
it's
I
like
mean,
you get, I guess it's familiarity. You get familiar with things, and you don't pay attention as much when you're.
Yeah. You're so
Yeah.
goddamn right. Sometimes because we work a lot abroad sometimes, and we've been all over the world playing music. Not in the US, unfortunately, but we've been, for example, in the Middle East a lot, like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, those places, or Maldives, Polynesia, wherever. We've been with the duo. So me and her, acoustic guitar, and she's singing. And when we come back, most of the time, we do realize after, let's say, a couple of months we've been abroad, how much we missed those things that we were taking for granted, especially because probably Italy, it's so corrupted to the core in terms of how it's managed, but because we take for granted so many good things, and then we forget because people tend to be so stupid in managing this beauty that is around here, especially politicians and stuff. But I don't want to get any politics stuff out there.
Right.
Let's say that the cool part about Italy is that you can literally, and this is something that can resonate a lot with the US people because it's the opposite, I'd say. So you can just drive 20 minutes and you have dramatically changed the scenario and the landscape just in 20 minutes driving from a place to another. And you always have like this kind of Italian vibe, but it changes a lot the atmosphere and the culture of the region you go to. And it's just everything. It's maximum 1 hour distance driving from a place to another, which is the opposite of the US, right? That you have to drive for like hundreds of hours, and it's so something we never take for granted. And most of the time when we have to tour or go around, it takes forever to go from point A to point B, and we've been so spoiled because we've always been used to just drive 20, maximum 30 minutes, and it's so crazy sometimes about Italy.
I guess if you follow any of our politics there, you can kind of see we can relate to that. So everywhere. So speaking of that, I don't want to get too far into it, but do you guys like look at some things over here and be like 333 million people, and this is the only 2 people they could find?
we enjoy and appreciate every single minute that gets let's say that people think it's worth spending with us and talking about us. So we are very grateful for also this opportunity.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah.
So being the time frame you guys got together, was it from stemming from COVID shutdowns or anything like that, or was it just it was just the timing just kind of worked out that way?
No, I mean, me and her, we've been playing together for a while, for like almost 10 years. And then we decided, because it was just a duo, and then we decided to incorporate like a bass player and a drum player to have like a full band, but it was always a cover band. It was always very business related. And then we just decided to give a try to some original music, because we all came from different original music projects, and we thought, okay, now we're adults, so we should just keep the shit. And now we're back in, but it's because we are not that young anymore. So I'm 35, she's 34.
That's why we decided to do Never Be Again, because we spend a lot of time doing covers and stuff, and the timing was like tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, and we say, okay.
It's a very fresh project. I mean, we did the first album was like September of last year.
Yeah, you guys have really been, because that was one of the things I was going to mention. I mean, you guys have really only been a band, in this incarnation for what, maybe 18 months. And you've already got one album under your belt. You got the single for the next album coming out, and the next album is coming out, what, month and a half?
Yeah. We're starving, guys. We really want to. Yes, I'm getting old, and I cannot be on stage all the time, like jumping,
I mean, we're very, very eager. We know that probably we're pushing the pace a little bit, but it's just because we kind of pretend that we have learned many things by mistaking in the past. So there are certain things that we know that we have to do all the steps, and the ladder is very high, but we know already most of those steps because we had like several other projects we have been touring the world with, and now we know that probably we are pushing the pace just because we want to get faster to certain steps, just because we already know what we have to do, not because we want to pretend to be better, but just because those things are already done and we need to repeat it from scratches every time because you just started a new project. So that's the drill. It's of course something you need to follow to build a fan base and build a community and a good relation with your new fans and stuff. but we really want to put out one album for each year. And
yeah, let's say that we can do this because we are pretty lucky, guys. In the scene in Italy is terrible, so that's the point. Like, we cannot play original music as a job because it's impossible. But we are in a pretty lucky situation because we are a DIY band, and we don't have to spend that much money in our band, like because he's the one that is the video maker. The other one, Alex, the guitar player, is doing production, so mix and master. Everything is done like it's homemade.
Yeah,
by
whether
us.
it's the graphics or, I mean, luckily we haven't invested a single dollar, euro, pound, call it whatever you want, a single dime in any type of service, which is I mean, excluding advertisements and stuff, because since
we're not rich.
Yeah. So we had the savings from the other job, which is still music, but we said everything. Let's behave like a company.
Yeah.
So if you already have all the suppliers inside your own company, we can be as much as we can be a DIY company too, because at the end of the day, everything you see or everything you hear has been completely done by us without calling any pro in anything. So we haven't never hired a video maker or a mixing engineer or a graphic designer and everything you see, it's made by us. So we're really trying to push the pace as much as possible to get there. And once you get there and you get to the point where you can just push the ball and the ball rolls by itself, that it's an achievement for us. So we're waiting for that moment to celebrate with a good wine and pasta.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: looking at the videos, you can't tell it's not professionally done. I mean, when you said that, I'm like, wow, that's crazy, because I would have thought that y'all had all these big people on the set with all that.
I mean, so let me tell you this.
Great work, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Thanks, let me tell you this thing. So we tried to hire a video maker once, and he said, okay, for this video clip, it's going to be around $3,000. And I said, okay, if I have to be consistent and doing like 5, 6, even just 4 video clips for each album I'm throwing out there, I'm going to be broke in a year. So I said, the best thing is, how much does a good camera cost? It's $3,500. A good lens, $1,000. Lens, lights, blah, blah. Okay, if you take $5-6 maximum, you have all the equipment, and I'm going to stay wake up nights like for a month watching tutorials on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't sleep at all.
And I did it. So I
we're a couple, but he's never in bed with me. Like, he's in the studio. Like,
I'm not cheating. I'm just in the other room watching tutorials.
I wake up at 3 a.m. It's like that with headphones, like.
Yeah, but that's the cool part, because I mean, at the end of the day, this kind of drive. Also from Alex, which is the other guitar player, which he has become like he was like a bit of a geek and a studio nerd, but he never did it professionally. So once we just sat down and say, okay, let's split duties. You take care of everything that needs to sound good. I take care of everything that needs to looks good. And so at the end of the day, we are still working towards quality, but we can say they were pretty happy at the moment.
I would say you should definitely be happy with what you've come out with so far. Because
thank you so much.
Yeah, because once we had the interview lined up, I mean, like Jason said, it came together very fast. He was the one communicating with you guys via email, but we both have access to the email account, and Scarlett reached out to us, and they sent us they sent us the package in the email. And when I saw Jason start to communicate with you guys, I was just like, all right, because whichever one of us starts communicating with a band, the other one of us just kind of steps back, so there's no kind of anything gets crossed. So, but we're both able to keep eye on the progress of everything as it goes. So as I was watching him communicate with you guys, I was like, this is really fast how this happened. And then, so in preparation for today, obviously he and I both, we were listening to everything. I listened to the new album, checked out the single first, of course, because it was in the email package. And then, went over to YouTube and was surprised at the amount of videos that were available. And so I mean, that was actually kind of surprising. I was like, and I don't have a count in my head, of course, but I was like, I think they did videos for half of the new album. I was like, Jesus Christ, So I mean, because I mean, there's because there's 10 tracks on the first album, but you have the instrumental intro and then you have the cover at the end. So you guys did the 8 original. You guys did the 8 original songs, and I think there was 4 videos and a visualizer. I was like, Jesus Christ! So I mean, so I was surprised.
Right.
Just at how much video
Right.
content, just how much video content there was. So, like Jason said, I would have probably would have lost the bet if someone would have told me, yeah, the band just did all this shit themselves. So just based on the, like Jason said, the quality of the content that was available.
Thank you so much, guys. It's so important for us.
I mean, it's very important to build momentum and keep momentum, because I do understand that when you are a newborn band, sometimes it's so difficult to grab people's attention, and the attention span is also very low. So if you can get people's attention, then you need to just overstimulate them until they become fun, and they are in that kind of spot that allow them to wait a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So that's why we have a kind of a hectic and frenetic pace, just because we know that we are grabbing people in. It's like throwing a big party. We are just trying to push people from the road to get into the club that we just rented, but we know that we need a DJ playing every single second, otherwise people go away. Until the people will start to become fan of the venue itself, and they will come back by themselves, and they can wait for us to throw another party. But at the moment, we need to just overstimulate the consumer until they will be able to just get emotionally attached to us somehow, and wait for it, or actually demand it. Because the moment you stop, it's the moment you're gone and forever lost, and nobody will remember you if you're not accomplished yet. So.
And then we really love, also, if I can add, we really love to be connected, like, with people, because with this social media era, it's so difficult, like, to be connected with people in a genuine way. So these social things, it's true, there are a lot of our contents, but the only goal is to be connected with people in the real life. That's why we spend a lot of time just responding to all the comments, to all the people, because it's because of them that we are doing something, okay? And so the people get like they fell in love with us, and I can chat with them. It's so nice. It's the thing that make me understand why I decided to be a singer and to do this, because I think that people giving you back what you're giving, and so it's an amazing, like,
because it converts a lot in real life. Because we didn't have the chance to play many shows. Maybe if we were from the US, it would have been much more easy.
Or Germany.
Germany is like the big metal mafia in Europe, right? So it's all bands for Germany, signed for German labels, and have gigs in Germany, which is like the golden spot for metal music in Europe. But when we played live, we did like 10 shows maximum to promote the first album, which was a huge struggle to get the shows. But the cool thing is that we never missed the show. So every single time we pushed so much via social media, and we actually have been as human as possible in each single answer to each single individual. That it was very nice to meet those people in person and have like almost all the time the full house when we were playing, which is something super unexpected. Even it's very much hoped, but not that much expected.
We didn't expect that. They drove like a lot just to attend the show. So it was crazy. It was amazing.
We played in Belgium and Netherlands, for example. We did like 3 shows over there, 4 shows, sorry. And I remember that we had people coming to 3 of those 4 shows, driving all around Netherlands and Belgium.
Oh, nice.
It was nice.
And I was like, this is so crazy. This is stuff that you should do for big bands. And not for
we are no one, like, what's going on.
But we felt blessed for this, and this it's money in the bank, it's fuel in the tank, and it's all those things that drives you and pushes you, and it's the small rewards that keeps the drive going. So for us, it's an amazing thing.
I'll say too, it's pretty impressive that you guys have only been together this long, and you've already got 30,000 followers on Spotify.
I saw that too.
Pretty
Yeah.
wild. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We push a lot.
I saw that too.
We are super annoying. So we are putting out like a lot of content. If you see, I mean, the main, let's say that the main display window that we're using at the moment, even if it's the one that we hate the most, it's Instagram. So I'm actually probably too much of a boomer to be good at using TikTok, even though we are trying. But Instagram is the main source of content, and for us. So if you see the number of posts, I realized it yesterday. Probably we have around 200 posts on Instagram, and if you divide it for the 15-16 months that we've been playing together, it's kind of a stupid thing because it's a huge amount of content. So
guys,
everything
honestly,
pushes people to Spotify and pushes people to YouTube.
It's crazy. Our daily routine became like crazy. We are doing our stuff like a family, and every little second is like, oh, I got this idea. We can do this. We can do that. And you put likes and come here, Carol. We need to do that. To do that. It's like, yeah, that's why.
Well, it's actually kind of good that you guys are a couple then, because you can work together as a band, but then you can work together as a couple. And if you guys are both there, like Caroline, like you just said, if you've got an idea, you can go off and do your own thing. But I honestly don't think that what you guys are doing is like annoying. Like,
no,
because what you did allude to, and especially the way things are nowadays. Oh, and just a quick aside, if you're calling yourself a boomer, we're 10 years plus older than you. What the fuck are we? So
boomer is an attitude. Boomer is an attitude.
It's not a matter of age. I know. I'm just giving you shit. But because the one thing I did notice when I put the promo together for the show is how many of the same platforms we're on that you guys are on, that I was able to find you guys. So thankfully I was able to, like, I tagged you, in the Facebook, I tagged you in Instagram, I tagged you in the, on X and everything. So it was good to see that I was able to at least help with the promotion, not just for us, but for you guys. But sometimes I don't think I'm doing enough promo for us, for our show. So for a band like you guys who are literally trying to get out, and like you said, you've been to Belgium and the Netherlands, and you want to get up into Germany and everything, I don't think you guys could do too much. I really don't, especially the way things are nowadays. Because like you said, people's attention spans are so very, very narrow, and the window is tight.
It is.
And with technology being the way it is today, we've alluded to this before with other guests. I mean, you have to be on the forefront. You have to be out there, and you have to be trying to set yourself apart somehow, or just making sure that, as people are scrolling by, they get to see, hey, never obey again, never obey again. Yeah. So I don't think you guys really could do too much, even if you were doing 5 posts a day on everything. But I don't really think you have to necessarily worry about that, about inundating people too much, because even with the amount of stuff I try to do, I don't think I'm doing enough. But again, I don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I did, but I don't.
Yeah, Chris, you're gonna have to step it up, man. I'd hate to fire you from your volunteer work. So. It kind of works out though, because we work different shifts. So if something comes up and I'm in bed, he's posting it, and then of course I'm up all night, so I'm posting stuff all night. So we keep everybody pretty informed about what's going on most of the time.
Yep.
So
so
it's we try to share news feeds and stuff like that, just to kind of keep everybody, especially when we do shows like this, we try to make sure everybody, because we usually do a regular show where we talk about those things, but when we're talking to guests, we don't really bring up much of the news. So
when we do interviews, it's just we're just focusing on, like today we're just focusing on you guys. We're not talking about any of the happenings, none of the special segments that we have, our theme of the week and our album reviews and stuff like that. We'll actually do our album reviews on an actual write-up on our social media. So the regular show takes a back seat when we have a guest on, and for good reason, because this is what we chose for our focus to be.
Okay.
Getting attention to the up and coming, the up and coming bands like you guys, especially with us being in the United States, getting eyes on bands from other countries over here.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
You guys are over there. You guys are over there in Europe. A couple of weeks ago, we had we talked to a band from India. A couple of weeks before that, we talked to a band from Brazil. We've had bands from Germany, from Finland, from Sweden, from Belgium, from now with you guys, Italy. So I mean, we've had bands on here from literally all over the world. We've even interviewed a band from Australia. So, but this has kind of been the calling card that we decided to use. Okay, we want to be part of the reason bands are getting introduced to the rest of the world. So that's what we've been doing.
Amazing.
And that's what we've been running with.
And it takes a lot of drive too. So it's something very, very, let's say, remarkable from your side, because at the end of the day, it's something that is surely driven by passion at first. So, and then if you can convert anyhow, I'm glad if you do, and that's a great thing. But let's say that at the start of this thing, probably, and the fundamental of this thing, it's your passion and your drive. So when you build these things with a strong fundament, it will work forever, because you're not. I mean, of course, it's gonna be some pain in the ass, like the technical issues or stuff like this, but it's something that you'll always face with a smile, because it's something that you're not forced to do, because it's not your 9-to-5 job. Right. It's something that you just do it because you want. So even if it takes effort, it's a pleasant effort, if it even exists as a term, but it's it's a pleasant effort, let's say. So.
Oh, it absolutely is. We look forward to doing this every week, even if we're not talking to a band one week, which, I mean, we've been doing more and more here lately, and that's phenomenal to us that people are taking the time, because I mean it's Saturday evening, over there where you guys are, and whether you guys think you're old or not, I mean, it's still a Saturday, it's still a Saturday evening, and you guys are taking time out to talk to just a couple of guys over in the United States.
It's Saturday morning for you too, so this is free advertisement for us. So it's
priorities.
It's something that it's guys. At the end of the day, it's giving to get, and it's just a good loop of energy and stuff. Because I really hope that tomorrow. We will blow up as a band, and we'll be glad to say that you have been one of the first to dedicate some of your time to us, or vice versa. If your podcast blows up, you become super viral, millionaire will be one in those roster of band that has been interviewed by you. So it's just a win-win situation, and it's just an exchange of good intention.
Yeah,
so,
you guys will be part of a memory for us, because honestly, we don't get a lot of female fronted bands on the show. I think you guys may be the third. Is that right, Chris?
The third.
Yeah.
Yep.
The third band. We've been doing this for 2 years. So, or actually, this is the third year we've been doing interviews. So
yeah.
So out of 3 years, we've had 3 female, and not like we don't reach out to them. We just don't get any feedback from.
But can I say something? I'm really happy about this, because I don't like our project to be labeled like female fronted, because sometimes when you're female, everybody thinks you have shortcuts because you have boobs and stuff. That's why I call myself when I sing. And I just care to sing. I just want to be like,
she has bigger balls than I do.
Yes, I'm just a singer, not female. I'm a singer.
I can't wear female clothes just because I won't fit there. But it's she's definitely the one with the trousers at home. So,
so honestly,
same. My wife, same.
Yeah, we try to stray away from that too, because we think it's a band. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a band, no matter who fronts it.
Yeah.
But when when you go out and you see articles about, this female fronted band, I mean, everybody's going to say that. So and it's kind of I don't mean disrespect from it at all. I mean, I understand that 100% that you guys are not where you're at because of your your boots.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you're where you're at. You're where you're
I
at,
wish-
Carolina, because of your amazing voice. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the
Yes.
point. I would love to show my boobs as a shortcuts, but not the kind of person that does it. So
Let's
it's,
open an OnlyFans.
it's
Let's
not
do
in
Yeah.
my DNA. So maybe with
Yeah.
OnlyFans we can earn some money, but it's
Be
not
like-
my kind of. I have other goals in my life.
That's also
No, that's good.
you'd be like, hey man, we gained 70,000 more viewers on Spotify.
Yeah.
like cinnamon babes or stuff like this.
Yeah, it's like okay,
I
sorry.
guess,
Yeah,
I guess that kind of circles me back, since we're talking about that, is what kind of influences did you have to get involved in singing, Carolina?
For me, like, I don't know, because I listen to a lot of artists. I can go from jazz music because I love like Ella Fitzgerald, Etta James, but then
my wife loves Etta James.
yeah, and I love to sing this kind of things. But then I grew up with Blink-182 and Linkin Park and Evanescence. But honestly, when they say which are your influences, I don't have it. One, because I'm a lazy ass, so I'm not the singer that keep on practicing and say, I want to sing like that. I just experimenting a lot, just in order to find my own voice. Like,
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm a vocal coach also, so I really love to experiment, to explore new stuff. I started to scream like 8 months ago,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
I really wanted to do it. And yeah, and my inspiration is, I think, I don't know, words. Like, let's say, like,
Okay,
No,
goodbye.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was joking, and then I love the metalcore scene, of course.
I want peace in the world.
Yeah, it's in my pocket. I always bring with me peace in my pocket. Like, no, it's joking.
Piece
Sorry,
of bullshit.
I'm joking. And then I
Fucking called you out.
by the way, then I fall in love with metalcore scene, so that's why I'm really into Spirit Box, Architects. When somebody asks me which is your favorite singer, female singer, is Tatiana from Ginger, because she's so sexy. She doesn't need anything to do like to being like she just sing as hell, and
Yeah,
she's a badass.
That's the thing. So I totally got your point when you first said that you just try to skip the female fronted scene bullshit, because I mean, at the end of the day, I guess that there are two girls that showed the world that you don't need to like wear a tongue or just cover just your nipples and go on the stage with high heels and stocking to be a good singer, because the two singers are Kurt and LaPlante from Spirit Box, and then you have Tatiana from Ginger. Those two ladies, they are extremely themselves. They're
freaking sexy.
Yeah, they become sexy because people they like what they do, and they do it so naturally as they are, without so many artificial stuff going on, and so we really look up for those type of artists at the end of the day. So I mean, she's a smoking hot lady, but I've never just tried to put her on like high heels.
Nice save.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring up Tatiana, because I've noticed like she's kind of gotten away from a lot of the guttural stuff lately, and and I love her cleans, and I actually love her. I love her either way. I mean, she's very talented as far as that
she absolutely is.
She does. But I do like that she's kind of like showing off a little bit of part of her that she hasn't done really before.
She really is. And believe me, I mean, Tatiana joined Ginger later on, because Ginger were another band before. But I know Ginger since like probably 15 years, because back in the days I had another band and we were touring Russia and Ukraine, and I remember playing with Ginger when they were so small. And so they have been grinding for probably 15 years or something like this, and she experimented like crazy, and now that everybody's just labeling her for being like the one who screams. And
but she sings better than men,
and then like, she now sings so good that it's just it's nice that she takes a lot of challenges, even though she's already accomplished as a singer. And as you said, it has been kind of a surprising, because most people have been blown out for a kind of a reverse engineer thing. She was already singing very good in pieces, the Pisces or what's the
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
I never know how to pronounce it. So
How do you pronounce that song, please?
Pisces, I think.
Pisces, yeah.
Pisces.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
So and everybody because they were already pretty big with Citrolist, the video with
With the dread.
with the
like-
dread
Right.
and dogs barking at her. I never remember the name of the song. But she was screaming from the very beginning, and then they become huge. They became huge after Pisces because she started singing clean. So everybody was involved into the cleaning, into this beautiful voice, and then she, boom, kicked
Oh,
in
yeah.
with the scream. That video got so viral. It has like 80 millions or something like this, which is unbelievable for a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Well, she's just one of those singers where if you wanted to go out and front a song in leather and in a short top and just scream your lungs out with pyro going everywhere, or if you just wanted an elegant gown and a piano,
Yeah.
she can do both of those things and like still be, still
Herself.
bring fans into
Yeah.
into what she's doing, and that's what we talk about a lot. Is like the music that really gets me is the stuff that drags me into it. You know what I mean? I guess it's kind of like listening to it and you kind of feel you feel something within
Yeah.
the song personally. You'd be like, oh man, that kind of hits, hits home a little bit with some of the verses, and that may not even be what you guys write about or something, but something in that song may hit and relate to me differently. And that's what's so great about music, and just music in general, not just metal, just any music in general. So, and I think that's one of the things that I love about just artists in general. And like a lot of times, and 9 times out of 10, I'm wrong about what people write. Just like when I ask you about your name, being the time frame, I'm like, oh man, maybe it's COVID related, maybe it isn't. I'm gonna ask them. So, and I know, and I realized Italy was one of the ones getting a lot of heat from that too. So So but anyway, back to the point here. I guess I kind of got her take on things. So, Alex, are you the lead guitarist or?
I do solos, but at the end of the day, if I just don't give a fuck. I mean, it's just like
is this kind of one of those things where you and Alessandro kind of split up things, or?
Yeah, so basically, actually, I am Alessandro. Alex is.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. It's always the same because we call each other Alex or Alex. It doesn't. Alex was just it was my way to introduce myself to international people because Alex sounds just more international than Ale.
Gotcha.
But then Alex, it's really named Alex because he's half German. So when we joined the band, it was just fuck. Now what I do is just difficult. We both play guitars. We have the same name. It's just
two
goofy.
nerds.
So you got to be Alex number 2. Sorry, how it works. I mean,
yeah, it's the main head behind the Never Again.
It's actually we are very very lucky, me and Alex, because there is no ego at all involved. So guitar player are like missed singer.
Yes,
so,
they are.
Because guitar player wants to be heard, and
right.
We just don't. We just care about the project. And so, for example, the cool part is that he has all the tricky parts. So, for example, 90% of the small leads or the arpeggios or like the technical stuff, usually you have a band with 2 guitar players. One is doing the big chuggy chords and the other one is just doing little tweaky things that gives the good vibes and the feel to the song. And he's doing all those technical stuff. But when it comes to solos, usually I kick in just because I am the one with the bigger background in study. I graduated in a guitar academy, and I have been teaching in a guitar academy for several years. So when it just come to guitar solos, he said, "You do your own thing because you just do it better. Go ahead and you do." And it's the same for me. There is no ego. I never say, "Okay, those parts are tricky and they are difficult. I want to play it." I just say, "Okay, you're better in doing these things. You do your own thing." And it's kind of such a good atmosphere because when there is no ego involved, you don't have to battle yourself through something. It's just it goes very smoothly, and I'm very
you work really good together. You work really good.
It helps with the chemistry when you guys can feed off of each other too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And also actually we're very lucky because me and Alex, we also write together almost everything. So he takes care of the instrumental parts and all the ear candies that you hear, because now music is not anymore just drums, guitar, and bass. It's just multi-layered stuff with electronics and things that just ear candies for people. And actually then I can kick in with the vocal melodies and the lyrics, and we're both very lucky because then we can feed these things to her, that she's such a great singer. So it's
I noted that.
whatever, it's a compliment. I mean, whatever you write, she's able to sing it. And the only thing we might be doing is just decide to tweak the pitch of the song, just because the key of the song, just because it suits better to the overall sound, and she can maybe have the good register, and she can be
play a little bit more like with
maybe,
vocal register, just try to change a little bit.
But we never had to change something because she was not able to perform what we wrote. It was always delivered in the best way possible. So we're actually also the drummer and the bass player, those are all professionals. They are professional musicians, all of them. So it's so easy to just give them the parts and they just show up ready to the rehearsal. It's such a great thing.
Yeah.
So who was some of your inspirations to play guitar?
My inspiration. Oh, so you'll never believe it. So I don't like guitar. I don't like guitar at all. So I started out.
Yeah, I didn't expect that answer.
So, honestly, I started out with the piano, and I liked it a lot when I was younger. But as a youngster, I really wanted to play drum. As a matter of fact, I'm a very atypical guitar player because I always look for the groove. Never looked for like big solos or like, yeah, you know what, you have like the fun in your head and you're on the top of the mountain doing the epic solo. I just don't give a fuck. So I don't want to. I'm just a redneck playing.
It's kind of
guitar,
redneck,
so.
like just.
If you feed a guitar to a drummer, it will play probably the way that I do. But then if I have to adapt to somebody. Yeah, because I started playing guitar because of Tom Morello, which I think
all right,
as the same vibe that I do. Tom Morello is not a guitar player. Tom Morello is a groove maker, and that's it. So
I've actually always thought that very thing. I've always thought that very thing about him. Always.
And then maybe you go ahead. Of course, then I had to skip university because I didn't want to do university, and I had to just justify with my parents why I was not doing university. So I went to the academy, and so I started studying guitar in a professional way.
You're too bad with yourself.
But I swear to God, I mean, I love, for example, Tommy Emmanuel. I don't know if you know him. It's an Australian acoustic guitar player. I had the chance to meet him like the last month because he was touring Italy. But he's the classical acoustic guitar player, solo guitar player. So very like Chet Atkins, very, very complicated, cool stuff on the acoustic guitar. Just because he probably feels music like he's doing music instead of he's playing guitar. It's just making music with a guitar. So that's why also I love loop stations and stuff. So me and her, we have been touring the world playing guitar, voice, and loop station because I could build the song, and that's what I like. I just don't like guitar as itself. So that's it.
I think he's a great musician, but he always have like how to say, a bigger vision of the thing, you know what I mean? Like, I play guitar, but just because I have to serve something like the arrangement or the atmosphere. It's not the kind of guitar player, that is jealous of the singer because it's not in the spotlight, you know?
And none of us is, not even her. So she's not even the typical diva singer that wants to prevail on the rest of the band. So it's, we are in a very safe and nice spot at the moment. We're very lucky where we are at. We're missing just big numbers and touring, and then we're good to go.
They're good to go.
Well, to kind of go back with Tom Morello, if it means anything, I don't play guitar either, but I beat him on Guitar Hero. So.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I love it. And then he will sue you.
Pretty much.
So it was funny reason I asked about some inspirations because you talk about the scene there not being as not great there, but how do you think the scene would be without bands like Lacuna Coil being where they are and stuff? Though, you think that would be? You think they kind of open the doors for it to be a little prominent, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that if you analyze the situation, you can kind of answer yourself, because it's a kind of a tricky one. If you see, I mean, we get asked a lot about Lacuna Coil, and we are glad, because Lacuna Coil, they are pioneers of the metal scene in Italy, and we're very grateful, because in a way they did it. But did they really did it? That's it. So have they accomplished anything in Italy? I mean, I know 2 members of the band. They are close friends of mine, and we have played together in other bands back in the days. And the cool part is that, for example, we were playing in Dubai. Me and her, we were like doing a residency contract for a 5-star hotel. We were playing just acoustic stuff. And Lacuna Coil, they came to Dubai, and they invited us to the show. So we had the pass and the stuff. And over there, even in Dubai, they can fill up an arena, and they will never have the same opportunity in Italy. Even now,
And it's crazy.
they are so well accomplished bands with a super
They have a lot of fans
historical
in Italy.
background, because now they are massive. They have 1 million listeners on Spotify, and probably 35 are Italians. Because the thing about Italy is that I think you guys in US are the most enthusiastic people I've ever met in my life. And I love that about Americans, because you start something and you have people cheering for you. And in Italy, you start something and you have people naysayer, denying, neglecting, and they are like, yeah, what the fuck do you think you can do? You will never make it. And then you really need to become so big that nobody can deny what you're doing.
Abroad.
Yeah. So you need to be like Maneskin. Did you see what they did? So Maneskin now, they are so fucking big. Whether you like it or not, you cannot deny the greatness of the band. I personally don't like the band, but they are there and I'm here. So
right, yeah.
My Jesus Christ. So,
But
so
Coil,
yeah.
like, can you? Sorry if we're interrupting you, but can you
no,
imagine
you're fine.
Coil? Like they became famous like a lot of years ago, and now Måneskin are famous, more famous than them. So and they are just filling the arena in Italy. And Lacuna Coil, I think they never played in Italy.
I mean, they when they play in Italy, they do festivals.
But
Because they will never. I mean, let's put it this way: if Italy was another country, let's say even France, our worst enemies, they have like the Olympics, right? I mean, this is a common, it's common ground. It's just jokes about French and Italian.
I know.
We will never be friends. But and the point is, look at what they did for the Olympics. They have one big metal band, Gojira. They put them out, and the fucking opening act of and it was history made. And that moment was for the history, for the books, and even French people do these things better than us. Can you imagine? So this is crazy.
And hell, they were only and Gojira only played for like 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was like an intro to one of their songs, right?
Yeah. So yeah, because I mean, I didn't watch it live when it happened, because I actually didn't watch the Olympics,
Right.
but I heard about it and I was happy about it, and we even talked about it on the show. But it wasn't until actually the Olympics, I think, were almost over. It's like, I'm just going to take a second and watch this, and I didn't realize that it was so short.
Yeah.
I was like, that was it. No, don't get me wrong. They did a great job, and the production was amazing, and they had all the Marie Antoinettes in the windows and everything holding onto their own heads, which I thought was amazing the way they pulled that off. But I was like, I didn't realize that it was such a short performance. It wasn't even 5 minutes, and the world. I mean, but like you said, a lot of people were like, "What?" And there was like a meme I posted in our Facebook group, and it was, the caption was, "The rest of the world after seeing Gojira play at the Olympics," and it was just like this I can't remember what the figure was, but it was like really, really wide-eyed, and the thing was like, what the fuck was that? But that's the thing, though, is, I mean, that's all it took. just
Yeah,
that
yeah,
five,
yeah,
just that
you're right.
just that 5 minutes. And
This
of
is
course,
actually it's one of the only good side. I mean, the bad side of being in the social media era are like thousands. But at the end of the day, the good part is that it just takes 3 minutes because it's the maximum attention span that we can have from people. So it just takes 3 minutes to do something epic and drive people attention. And now the world knows about Gojira.
Yep.
So that's it. So even casuals. Gojira now are the Conor McGregor of music. So it's like people don't know anything about MMA or UFC, but they knew
but
Conor
they know
McGregor
him
because of the Mayweather fights. So it's casuals that are gathered because of this one single big event, and they did it. And back to the Lacuna Coil topic, it will never happen to in Italy that a metal band will have this kind of opportunity. So
when you're a rock band,
just
when you are abroad, everybody asks for Italian music, and guys, you are stuck on our, like old artists like Celentano, all these things. They are so old. Do you know any artist from the new era, Italian?
I guess we don't.
No.
No.
Luckily, because trash, but like, we are stuck in like.
But yeah, the flip side.
I mean, that's the reason you guys are here, because we don't see a lot of bands from Italy. So I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
so we don't get the scene because we don't know it. So we have to have somebody from there to let us know. Like, I'm learning so much right now from you guys because we didn't know any of this. So it's like,
yeah.
I mean, it's corrupted. It's crazy. I mean, on the flip side, what the cool part is that probably if you can, I just wanna probably. I want to see this Italian thing not anymore as a liability, but as an asset. Most of the time, we were trying to hide our accent and hide that we were from Italy because it gives you kind of a bad reputation. Because okay, they're from Italy, we're going to discard them, and because 90% of the time, it has been like this for the music scene. If they are from Germany, they belong to that niche of Germany thing. If you are from the UK, you're very famous because you just colonized the whole world. Congratulations. If you are from any other country, then you get dropped. And as Italian, every time we say we are from Italy, they're like, okay. Nowadays, to be fair, there is not that much competition, even though there are so many great bands in Italy. Trust me, there are so many great bands. And they are so resilient, because why the fuck are you just struggling so much trying to achieve something that is impossible to achieve because you're from Italy? And this talks a lot about our drive and passion. So I've never been more patriotic, probably. But that's it.
No, I mean, I definitely can understand why you feel that way, because I mean, the talking about the scene over there isn't super duper far and wide and spread out and everything, but even for guys like Jason and I mean, Lacuna Coil aside, I mean, there are bands that we do know from over there. You got Elven King and Rhapsody of Fire, Nana War of Steel, stuff like that. And there's a band that actually just started following us on Twitter like a couple weeks ago, Dirtian, Luca Turilli has been, in the metal scene, for a while, whether he's been in a band or whether he's got his own project going on, Frozen Crown, bands like that, Wind Rose, so unfortunately, with us being who we are, Jason and I, we've heard of bands like that. Jason probably doesn't know as many of them as I do. I listen to a lot more. Power metal than he does. So I probably know more of those bands than he does. But he still knows some of those bands. But unfortunately, it's got to be people who are like us, who are like metal, and like basically nothing else. Really, kind of more of the hardcore fans. And to us, that's unfortunate. Because there's quality music coming out of your guys' country. You guys, with you guys, with Lacuna Coil, who's been doing it for 20 plus years, so there's quality music coming out of Italy, and just those other acts aside, those aren't even all of the ones, of course, that have come out of that country. Graveworm, Sadist, Cadaveria, Artemis. I mean, there's a shitload of music that comes out of Italy. So anyone who's anyone who's dismissing you or any other band just because you're from Italy, I don't know what. I wish I kind of knew where that stigma came from, because it's unwarranted and unfair. Because I mean, we've talked.
I don't know if you think about that, but it's
because we've talked on the show before about just Europe as a whole, as far as the metal scene goes. Obviously, there are countries like you say that are more more well known in Europe in the heavy metal scene, and Scandinavia. Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Norway, those are arguably most people would think, outside of the UK, thanks to Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath, a lot of people would probably say that the Scandinavian region may be second. But that's all a matter of opinion. But for us, because like I say, we've talked to, now that you guys have been on the show, Italy, Germany, Belgium, Sweden, Finland. I don't know if we've gotten to Norway yet, but I mean, we've talked to we've talked to Scotland, so they're over there in the UK. So we've basically, by proxy, considering thanks to the internet and everything, by proxy, we've been all over Europe, and even the places we haven't been yet. We know there's metal bands in every country in Europe. We know there is. We absolutely know there is.
We haven't talked to anybody from Norway yet, so
okay. I didn't think we had gotten to Norway yet.
I'm gonna need you to step up, Chris.
It's my homework to find a Norwegian band. That's fine. I'll find one. Yeah. But so the stigma that they're from Italy. I don't know what.
Now let's say
what happened with that, but
it's tier 2 countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's tier 2 countries. So it's and we are one of those. Let's be honest about that. So at the end of the day, if you think about historical bands that have become gigantic, those are only bands from UK or US. That's it, as easy as that. Then we had some Australian ones, especially after. Let's go back to AC/DC.
Right.
Days.
Yeah.
But when you just try to just get a bunch of name of historical famous band, can you recall any Italian one, or any Mexican one, or any Spanish one, or any? Those are tier 2 countries. That's it. I mean, you have tier 1 countries. This is not something I'm complaining about. It's just facts.
That's facts.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, and you went out on the street and said, "Hey, name me a metal band from Italy," I mean, 90% of the people are only going to know Lacuna Coil. I mean, and that's what comes back from what you're saying, is because there's no reach there, obviously, or we would know like 20 bands from Italy. So I get what you're saying when you say that.
Yeah.
And I think now, if you look at it, like probably one of the bigger bands trying to push through that barrier right now, and they just had a new album that was Flesh God Apocalypse. I mean, they're kind of gaining a lot of ground. So
you see, those are names out there. They are out there. So that's why if you go to our Instagram page, for example, at this moment, we decided, because we started out saying, okay, of course, we need to communicate in English because we can reach the bigger crowd. But back in the days, we wanted to hide our nationality, and now we just said it in our bio in Instagram. So it's metal band straight out of pizza.
I saw that. That was hilarious. Oh my god, that was great. I love that. Oh, so fucking funny. I don't know. I don't. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if you guys over there. I don't know if you know. And this is a rap group over here in America. But I don't know if you have ever heard of NWA. But they had back in the day, they had a song called "Straight Outta Compton."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
And they actually had a movie come out a few years ago called "Straight Outta Compton," and it was basically a biopic for them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people took that "straight outta," and they were like straight out, like straight out of, like, because I'm from straight out of Detroit and straight out of this, and you guys should make a straight out of pizza T-shirt.
So we wanted to do a T-shirt. Yeah, we wanted to do
you
a
guys
T-shirt with the
Be ready for the new
with the
t-shirt.
pizza and the pentacle with the pizza. Straight out of pizza, it would be amazing.
That's hilarious.
I think that
would be great.
That would
I would
that
buy
would
that.
sell. Yeah, that would sell.
So this is and then
Never obese again.
never obese again. It's
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think my favorite one from that was
Oh,
I almost bought the
Oh,
T-shirt.
man.
It had a baby on it, and it said "straight out the womb."
But yeah, that is two very good merch ideas. You got. I'm glad we got this on video, because now if you guys forget, we'll remember for you. So
Yeah, be like, hey,
That's
somebody's using your
fantastic.
shit. You said it first.
yeah, that's
So
fantastic.
there was another one for the Italian market. You know that it's very well known around the world. Recipe that doesn't exist in Italy, and everybody thinks that it's a very famous Italian recipe, which is pasta Alfredo.
I want to do a song about it.
Alfredo doesn't fucking exist. There is no pasta Alfredo. It's a made up recipe that doesn't exist in Italy. So we want to say put a T-shirt.
Really?
Fuck
Yeah.
Alfredo.
Fuck Alfredo, and then write a song, and before the breakdown, you're gonna just grow like
Oh.
Alfredo.
Hell yeah.
Like
Love it.
bolognese. Bolognese, it doesn't exist. It's ragu. It's another thing. It's just called different.
Maybe in the third
Yeah.
album there will be something about Alfredo
And
pasta.
everybody, I like bolognese. What is
Yeah.
bolognese?
You're gonna make me,
It doesn't exist.
you're gonna make me go watch Ratatouille now. Mm.
So seriously, that stuff that, like, so those dishes we're eating over here, they're not real?
You foreign people invented those. Like,
Wow. I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, Alfredo doesn't exist. It's not even. And sometimes they also twist it with chicken and stuff.
and then Alfredo.
Chicken will never end in pasta. I
No.
swear to God, I will be discredited. And if I have any, come si dice, eredità,
Heritage.
any heritage from my parents, they will just disqualify anything from me. They will never. I mean, I will be banned from the family tree if I ever cook chicken in pasta. It will not happen.
And then they put mushrooms in carbonara. Why are you putting mushroom in carbonara?
I'm actually learning a lot. Seriously, I
Yeah,
am.
seriously, yeah, me too.
Because there are dishes over here that I like chicken Alfredo, and I just found out it's not even a real goddamn thing.
Yeah. So now we have to ask the age old question, since we have some true Italians on the show: pineapple on pizza or no? I see.
No.
That's a no. It's good,
Good.
because I'm in the no camp.
Right.
So good.
I am.
It's an Hawaiian twist. It's an Hawaiian twist, but it doesn't. I mean, I've never even tried it, to be fair.
In common pizzerias, you cannot find that.
No, wait. One time, I was touring Germany with
You were in Germany.
with my previous band, and the promoter was such a nice guy, super nice guy. And I remember he came into us at the end of the show and said, "Guys, this is a little treat for you, so you feel like home." And he opened up a pizza box, and we were like, "Yeah!" And when he opened the pizza box, the pizza with the pineapple, and we were like, "No." Now we have to eat it, otherwise he takes it as an insult. So we had to eat it. And you see flying pieces of pineapple all around.
You just throwing them over your shoulder. Yeah, this is great.
Alex went back into his mob voice. Let me talk to you for a minute over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat that in my van. Thank you.
Yeah, over here in this janitor's closet. Let me holler at you.
Yeah, no, I'm in the anti-pineapple camp as far as that goes too. No,
I don't think that belongs to me. But
maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. You know, this is the cool part about the word. So probably it's even something that tastes good, but we have so much prejudice regarding this thing that we are just preventing ourselves from making good experience just because we are so used to like original. I mean, food is something very, very sacred in Italy. It's an holy topic
for good reason. Like I said, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, why would you? I mean, that's the thing. Is, I mean, why mess with it if you don't have to? That's the way I look at it. I mean, Jesus.
So now if I go into a restaurant and they say, "Oh, it's authentic Italian," and they got chicken Alfredo on there, I'm like, "Nah, bro, I know that's a lie."
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, got it
if they offer you chicken Alfredo, you go to them and you say, "Where are you from?"
Yeah, exactly.
You can tell me the truth. You put a hand on his shoulder. Tell me the truth. Come on.
Your owner is not Italian.
With his accent, come on. You now tell me the truth. You're not from it. Tell me the truth.
So I think the most authentic place I ever ate at was where was we at? We were in Texas. And there was an Italian restaurant. It was like in a hole in a wall, like strip mall. Like
those are the best places
some crazy highway. Like I was like, okay, I thought we was never going. I said, man, are you sure this is a restaurant? My wife was giving me directions. I said, are you sure we're going the right way? Because there's like nothing here. And then all of a sudden we just pop up onto this like little strip mall, and it's like the Italian restaurant was there, and there was like a dry cleaner and some other stuff. But we went in, and this place was so authentic. Somebody brought in this guy. It was at Christmas time, so somebody had brought in the owner a bottle of wine, and he come out of the back, and he was like, "Oh, grazie," all that stuff, and he was like kissing them on the cheek, and she was like, "Oh man."
Of course.
I said, "This dude right." I said, "This dude right here is fucking. He's Italian." I said, "He probably got bodies in the freezer and shit. He's Italian."
You could tell.
He come out and did all that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, we're an authentic place. So and like the pizza was like outstanding, dude. Like it was like I was like, dude, I've never tasted pizza like this. This is not like shit we're used to eating. Yeah,
if we ever come touring over there, we'll make sure we meet, and I'll cook something for you. I'll cook a good pasta for you guys.
Oh man,
he is an amazing chef, by the way.
I have to justify my overweight, so I need to be good at that.
Yeah. Well, luckily you can't tell if you're overweight. Then I'm definitely overweight because I'm about I don't know how much kilos that is, but I'm about 265 or so. So, I mean, I'm not like fat. I'm just a big guy because I was.
I was
an athlete for so long. It's just like I had a big frame for being an athlete. So it was just kind of stuck, and luckily I had that, or I would look like I was probably a whale at this point. But but luckily I have a frame that kind of carries it a little better than most people. So
but whales are great animals, though.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more wiry, but I mean, I've always been an athlete too.
Wiry, I like it.
I'm a little more wiry. I'd probably give up about 100 pounds to Jason, but I've been playing sports my whole life too. I mean, being from Michigan, I've played hockey most of my life, so I've always had a little bit of a higher metabolism, because you gotta.
Such a violent sport, like it's so cool. It's
so fun, but Jason and I both have an athletic background, but he's got a lot more.
I kid with my wife all the time. I said, I wonder if I could get disability from COVID, because like that's the reason I gained so much weight, because I had to go work from home. So
we all now it's just a new excuses unlocked. Thank God we had the lockdown, because in lockdown I was like, it was in pounds I was like 285. I gained like probably 70 pounds in lockdown. It was like terrible, and then I lost it luckily, but it took me like 6 months of every day in the fucking gym. Has been
same. I started out about 290 about a year ago before we went back to the office, and like so I'm down about 25 pounds now. So I'm still trying to lose another 20 to get back down to my
Let's do this thing together, weight. My friend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to stay away from pasta, I guess.
Then I'm out.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, if that's one of the stipulations, that I'm out. I'm not doing it.
I think my biggest issue is bread. Like I gotta have bread all the time with meals. It's like, I don't know why.
I feel you.
It's good.
I mean, especially if you're eating Italian, you want lasagna and stuff like that. You gotta have some kind of
bread.
I mean, she has the best metabolism ever.
I can't be bread.
Because we eat the same thing in the same amount of thing, and she's 1/3 of me. So it's.
Well, she's the front of the band, so she gets to move more than you do. So
exactly. Yeah.
That is true.
That's a nice excuse.
That's a nice excuse. Yeah, it is.
Cardio is going.
So I know we kind of got away from it a little bit, but I love learning about other countries' cultures. That's kind of
absolutely
one of my biggest things is learning what other countries like we're learning so much that some of the meals we eat aren't really Italian, which is which is kind of
living alive and living alive.
Yeah, it's disturbing and informational at the same time. So, but because I like chicken Alfredo myself.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know it was fake the whole time.
It's okay to like it. It's okay to like it.
We just can't call it Italian.
That's right.
They aren't. I'm sorry for you guys to tell you this.
And I'll tell you another thing. French fries have been invented in Belgium. Boom.
Yeah, right. Well,
actually, I did know that. Yeah. I'll just call it. Yeah, I'll just call chicken Alfredo chicken and noodles or some shit from now on. I'm not even gonna put an Italian spin on it anymore because it's bullshit.
Right. So. Well, it's funny you brought the French thing back around because when you were talking about France earlier, we always have a joke here about France too, and it's like, hey, can you guys take Canada back? But it's like a lot of times we're like, we fought for this, like really?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
sorry guys, but she's dying by heat because it's very hot over here. So she's
okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, it's supposed to be around 100 degrees later this week. So I mean, which I mean over there I think is like 40. So. It's
something
like that.
30, 36, 37 now. It's
too hot.
It's very hot. Also
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculously warm. So summer's definitely not letting go. But yeah.
I mean, look, hey, we're both married men, so you're good to do whatever you want to increase both of our ratings. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. We don't.
She's just going around waving the T-shirt.
She just needs some airflow. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Needs some airflow.
That's like. So I just put a ceiling fan in this room too because like we moved our office into this room and like I didn't realize how stuffy it was. Like.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it is stuffy in here. So like we had to like keep the door open so the air would flow throughout the whole house and stuff. And I was like, man, we gotta get a ceiling fan. So I thought I put a ceiling fan in here. And like yesterday I was freezing. So
I mean, I've got one in here, but I turned it off because my microphone's so damn sensitive. All you would hear all you'd hear is whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, screw that shit. I'm just good. I just rather be hot. So just as it is, I have to put some window coverings up because I'm sure you can hear my damn voice is echoing because other than my setup right here, there's nothing in this damn bedroom.
It's all good. It's all good.
I got shit echoing off the walls.
So let's get back to the music a little bit. I was, listening to you guys all week, and I kept trying to pinpoint. I'm like, man, this sounds like another band that I know, and I couldn't pinpoint it to save my life. But I thought about it this morning, actually, when I was listening to it. I said, and Chris, you may be able to say I'm stupid, or you may agree with me, but I don't know if you've ever heard of the band Null Positive. They're a German band, and they only sing in German. So
what's the name? Sorry.
Null Positive is the name of the band.
Never heard. Never heard.
Yeah, so they're pretty big. They're pretty big in Germany, and they only do their songs in German, which is kind of like, with Rammstein and people like that. We're just kind of like, we kind of like, yeah, we don't know what they're saying, but we like the music.
Yes, it really is. I think,
and so the tone with you guys, I'm like, man, this kind of reminds me of that. Now that I think about it, it's just just in American lyrics, so it's kind of like, oh, okay, I kind of relate.
We'll give them a listen. I'm very curious now, so I'll give
So it's not like identical by no means.
No.
It just kind of like, I'm like, man, this tone reminds me of something, and I could not place it until today, and I said, you know what, it kind of sounds like those guys, except it's not in German.
Yeah.
So which is cool.
I do know that I do know of one song that she does in English. Right.
But majority.
But yeah, they are primarily all the lyrics are in German. But they do have they've got the heaviness with the electronic accompaniment and stuff like that. So I would say that's probably pretty accurate. Now the new single that you guys just released, by comparison to the new album, this one, when I was listening to it, like I said, I listened to it first because it was in the email packet. now to me, like I say, I'm not just speaking for me, not speaking for Jason. When I listen to the new single in comparison to the first album, to me, you guys toned down a little bit of the electronics on the new single in comparison to the music that was on the first album. Is that basically kind of like a blueprint for what the new album is going to sound like? Because I also thought that the new single was actually, as heavy as the first album is, I actually thought you guys kind of cranked up a little bit of the heaviness on the new single. And Carolina, your vocals seemed to be a little more aggressive at parts. Am I
That's true.
Am I off base at all? So no. So, okay, not
No,
off base.
about the vocals, yeah, I can say that.
Yeah.
What? Cosa?
Ti ho chiesto se, sorry, I'll translate quickly in Italian. Ti ho chiesto se perché loro hanno scritto che tu canti adesso in maniera molto più aggressiva e sembra che abbiamo ridotto un po' la presenza dell'elettronica nei brani.
Ah, okay.
Se effettivamente tu...
No, about vocals, of course, yeah. I try to explore a little bit more and to put everything in this new album. So yeah, I discover how distortion, like for my voice. So now I do scream and I put distortion. I can sing clean. Honestly, I put a little bit of more attention in this new album because the first album was pretty fast. They wrote the songs and they gave it to me and say, okay, sing on it, and that's it. Now in this new album with this new work, I had more time to work a little bit more on my voice. Yeah, you catch it. Like, yeah, it's more aggressive. Yeah, not in any song, I think.
Not in every one, right?
Not in every song, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah, just an overall, just like a little bit of an overall tone. Because obviously we've only heard the one song. So, but
yeah.
But like I say, it seemed like to me when I was listening to it, you know, it was just like, all right, they're pushing the envelope a little further, you know, because like I say, it sounded like there was less electronic. I mean, it's still there, but it seems like it's like more of a secondary ingredient just based on what I could hear from the just from the first single, and a little more heavier, and you definitely sounded more pissed off, which is definitely, as far as we're concerned, not a bad thing at all. A little more power and aggression is never really a bad thing.
Electronic Eyes is not actually a blueprint for the whole thing. To be fair, it's how can we say? So we decided to just let it out. So if you hear noises, is the son of my sister.
That's
1 year old.
totally fine.
So and also like in 10 minutes, I guess we will need to cut it out because it's time to put him to sleep. So sorry about that, guys. I'll tell you in advance. So
that's fine. That's fine.
It's regarding the new album. It's so we just said, okay, let's have no compromises, because the previous album we said, okay, let's try to stay in this type of sounding things. So introducing electronics, kind of like it was needed to. Now we just said, okay, let's put it where it's just where it's needed. So you're gonna have in the new album some songs that are gonna be like straight violence from the start, like an hardcore band just playing all blast, full volumes, double bass, and whatever blast beats, and then you're gonna have like some ballads with tons of electronic that is complementing the song. So it's just basically we just decided to let the song decide if it was needed to have some electronics or not. And the vocals itself it was the same. So we just tried to put screams where they were needed. Also, screaming for her was a kind of a big topic because she sings so good clean.
She does.
That we really needed to wait for her to be ready to bring the scream to the same level of the clean vocals, because then otherwise you could understand that she's primarily a clean singer that is trying to scream. So we just said, okay, let's put both components together, because she was trying also during the first album, but she never explored it that much. So in these 6-7 months, she brought the level up there to the singing level, and probably even more because we discovered that she's kind of a beast in the studio when she has to scream. So
I prefer to scream than cleaning vocals because I don't have to pay attention on tune and stuff.
On the
so
pitch,
I can just be like, wow, 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 without
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sometimes because it's no, but guys, honestly, it's an amazing songwriter, but the vocal lines are so difficult sometimes. And when I'm on stage, I'm like a beast. Like I love to jump to a place to another, and it's not easy to pay attention all the time to the tune, to the pitch. I'm not using the mic stand because I don't know. I like to move. And the vocal lines are so difficult. So I'm so glad I learned how to scream so I don't have to put attention on anything. And
yeah, when you know that there is that moment of the song,
out.
Sometimes it's so delusional when you're like, you're building the moment of the song and you feel that you really need that fucking heavy breakdown and you just want to stomp, bum, bada, bum, bum, and you cannot because you know that she doesn't have access to that part of the screaming thing. You just need to into something like this.
I want it so bad.
To
like...
throw a random scream of like 2 letters and if she wasn't able to do that before, we would have been in a place of not being able to put a breakdown over there because we were not able to complement the breakdown with the harsh vocals. So now that we have access also to this other thing, it's gonna be even easier to promote the songs because we can also build content around this thing. It's always fascinating to see like a good-looking lady, and you're just expecting her to sing something high-pitched, very stereotypical lady singing, and then she throws a scream. It's something that it's always fascinating. So it's gonna be easier to promote it.
Honestly, I felt so incomplete with the first album. I felt very incomplete, like a vocal, because we all love metalcore music, and how Alec was telling you is like you're waiting for the breakdown to be launched, by a scream, and I wasn't able to do it. So I was on stage and I felt like this.
And fun fact is that now when we do play live shows with the previous album, she's screaming throughout
all
so many places. So if you come to see us live, even the old album is not gonna be 100% recognizable because there are some vocal lines that are the same. But when we implemented some breakdowns, we implemented some instrumental parts to accommodate also the screaming.
I changed everything.
Cool. But that also allows, like you just said, that also allows you to become more flexible musically now that the vocal elements have been expanded too. So it's kind of like a twofold achievement. Now that she can do both things, you can open up, you can expand the horizons musically too. So it's another one of those kind of win-win situations where she learned to incorporate a new thing, and then we can tie it into this other new thing, and it just becomes another animal, basically.
Yeah,
of course.
It's so fun. When we were writing the new songs, I remember him and Alex. They were just writing and said, she will be ready to sing these screams or not. They were like, okay, we write this part, but
in the writing process. Now that guys, 90% of the thing gets done by computer, so you can just program your drums and just record bass and guitar if you want to record bass, because 90% of the bass guitar that you're hearing are just programmed now. So we just said, okay, we're actually building the song, but we need to know if she's ready, because she was still in the mood of, let me try to understand, because I would love to implement screams, but I don't know if I'm ready. And we were writing meanwhile, so we're like, okay, fuck. Which is the direction, because if you can open that folder, we will just dive into that folder like.
Okay.
It was like the Grand Canyon. It was not just a small.
Oh, see, there you go. All right,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, every little pieces fell together in a good way. So it's we're very happy about that. So we can't wait to share the rest of the album, because some tracks are gonna be. So I'll tell you, expect something pretty crazy for the second single, because we're gonna release 3 singles before the album.
I was just gonna ask that.
Yeah, you're good. So there's going to be 3 singles and 6 music videos. So,
so I can tell you that I already have 4 videos ready.
Well, then you've only got to do 2 more. So yeah.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
You only got 2
Okay,
more to do.
I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with as fast as you guys move, you're probably halfway done with one just doing this interview. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least they don't. At least it isn't like 1987 where Def Leppard did like 7 and probably had to pay millions of dollars to do it. So I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
so there you go.
Yeah.
So,
It's
Yeah,
nuts.
we also used some of our millions dollars that
Of
we have.
course, to promote our stuff.
Yeah, I have a couple in my pockets now, and that's it.
Yeah.
I have a couple of million excuses in my pockets.
Yeah,
Me too. Me too. I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do I. Now, since you guys are, like you say, a self-proclaimed DIY band, but you guys are with Scarlet Records. How long have you guys been with the label?
By the start. So
By the start, like
Okay.
2023. Like
yeah, we just released one single before. We actually contacted the label. They never got back to us. As you do as a DIY band, when you just start off, you just write to a bunch of labels. You think they could be in the radar, even though probably the roster of the band, the Scarlet, it's mainly composed by power metal or epic metal, folk metal. So things that are kind of different from what we do, but still in the metal niche. So we reached out to them also. They probably never received our email. They never checked it out. I don't know. Maybe they didn't acknowledge our existence. So we self-released just one single, and they contacted us right after. So because we did a good promotional campaign, the video went good. It went around like 80,000 views or stuff like this in a couple of weeks. Everything went very good. So we did a lot of social media content to promote it. We already had like a batch of probably 50 small video contents for Instagram. We posted them everywhere. So probably we did like we made a lot of noise when we came out. So they had to acknowledge us, and they did. So
we did everything, and then
and that's why the first album was very hectic, because we just had like 3 songs. We throw out there one video clip, and they signed us like 1 month after and said, okay, in 2 months we need to release the album, and we didn't have anything, so we really had to rush in the studio and do everything like 2 months and a half. And
that's why I told you it was pretty fast. Like the first album, it was pretty fast.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what you guys can come out with in 2 months, then definitely be interested to hear, in October what happens when you guys have, what is it like, maybe like an entire year to work on something. So, but
happy about
that's why this interview happened so fast. They're just used to doing everything like
right,
like that.
But
so I will say this. I mean, if you guys have anything going for you, Angelo, man, seems to be like hard at work for Scarlet, dude. Because like I've gotten 3 emails since the 16th with bands in our email.
He's
definitely pushing for all, not just you guys. I mean, every band on that label, he's definitely pushing. So he's definitely putting it out there for all of you guys. So
and they're doing fantastic. It's the only thing that unfortunately it's always related to the Italian market is that they don't have their own booking agency, because it's so difficult to have one in Italy. But beside the live shows part, they're taking great care of the whole digital promotion, and it's the reason why this thing is happening now, and many more other hopefully will happen. So the more the merrier, and the more chance we have to get noticed or just spread the word and grow a bigger fan base. So it's all we are looking for at the moment.
And we're lucky too, because I think this is like the 3rd record label that we've actually worked with bands. So it's
I believe so.
So it's kind of like amazing to us too that we have, like, when I open the email and I see this stuff, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like and not in a million years that I think we started this 4 years ago, and we'd have
people headhunting us,
labels contacting us, showing stuff in our inbox. I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. It's like So, and I mean, this is what I love too. It's like we even got demos. Like, hey man, what do you think about this demo? It's not even recorded yet. And I'm just like, oh, okay, we'll check it out. I'm like, oh yeah, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see how y'all crisp this up, man, because it's gonna, it sounds good already. So, so it's amazing. It's amazing to be in a situation, and we're very, very blessed to be in the situation we're in too. Even though we're not making money, we're definitely making, like I said, we're making relationships with bands and record
Your
labels.
network is your net worth, right?
That's right. That's right. Exactly. So,
That's right.
you're not always rich with money. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to have contacts all over the world like we've created is just beyond unimaginable, I think. So
it's definitely been, like you said, it's been a blessing, but it's also at the same time been a bonus, because when we started this
Right.
thing at the beginning of 2021, we were just like, we're doing this for ourselves, and we still are. Don't get me wrong, we still are. But anything that comes out of it is just basically going to be a bonus, really. And then we started slowly but surely, having bands accept our invitations to come on. We connected with another guy here locally who's got a Facebook group of his own, and he was putting on a live concert like one county over from where we live. He's like, you guys want to live stream from our event? So I mean, the first time we got to do like a live broadcast from not our houses was crazy, and then we went to our first expo, which was crazy, and something and
it's building up. It's very nice.
Yeah. And like Jason said, now instead of us having to reach out all the time and see if somebody will come to the show to interview, we've got people sending us stuff. And, so I mean, it's really weird, and in a good way, but I mean, and we're getting to the point now where we're not even really doing our original format of our show anymore as often as we are the whole thing is kind of flipped, because we were doing our weekly program with our news and everything. And we're like, eventually we'll get to do interviews. And now it's like, all right, now we're doing interviews, and eventually we may go back to our original format. So it's kind of almost like done a 180 to where we're more often than not, we're talking to new bands, which was a goal that we had in mind at the beginning, but we were like, this might be years down the line. And, granted, we are in year 4, but it was still crazy when it started, and just to see where it's gotten to just now. And for whatever it's worth, every band that comes on the show, we make sure that we follow as much of their progress as we can. So with you guys having, and because we consider you guys part of the Metalheads Unite family, basically. If that sounds cheesy, then that's just too bad.
No,
because that's the way we look at it. I mean, so you guys have the new album coming up, new album Trust coming up in October, and anything that comes out on the social media in promotion ahead of time from you guys is going to get shared across the Metalheads Unite platform.
Thank you so much.
So for whatever it's worth, however many eyes that we get on us, they're going to see your guys' stuff, because that's what we try to do for all
Thanks
these
a lot,
guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
And we're at the point.
So, what? Sorry.
I say, and we're at the point where my goal is at this point just to get more guests the next year than we did the year before. That's just my, even if it's just one extra.
And we have had a lot of guests this year.
Ahead.
Yeah,
that's amazing. But you're doing a great job, and thanks a lot for your time. And also, very sorry, guys. But I think we might have to wrap it up because
no, that's fine.
Actually, we're getting called from downstairs. So
that's fine. That's fine.
Before you guys leave, you want to plug any of your socials or anywhere where
for sure,
merch or anything like that?
So actually, we're working to a merch store at the moment, so it will be out very soon, because we just rebranded the logo and everything with the second album. So we are kind of in between the two phase.
Yeah.
So it's once it's gonna be out, it will be for sure in all social media. So mainly, as we said, we are in all platforms, but the one we are more active for sure is gonna be Instagram. So it's just as easy as that. You type down "Never Will Be Again Music" and you'll find us on Instagram. It's gonna be the same on YouTube. We have our own channel. If you are a Facebook guy, find us out on Facebook. We're over there. We are struggling trying to keep up the pace also with TikTok, which we are terrible at, and also X is probably something we're not using that much because we belong to that part of the world where we don't use X that much because we didn't even know the existence.
There's too many socials. Like it's impossible to deal with
There
all of
is,
that.
yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
I already like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you are, let's say that if you are one for the long form content, which is the thing that we love the most because we tend to talk too much, as you see. It's 1 hour and 44 minutes is a lot.
Yeah.
And so YouTube, it's for sure the thing where you can get to know us better as people and the story behind and the surrounding and the whole story to tell.
Yeah.
But if you generally want to know something more about us, just hit us up on Instagram. You'll find like
Tons of content.
weekly
Tons of
content.
content. There you go. All right.
Forever. So let's shut over there. We'd love to meet any one of you and to get to know any one of you. So it's an open call. Just don't be shy. Hit us up. We'll be super happy to chat.
Sounds good. All right. Well, we'll let you guys.
We appreciate it, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. And
hopefully,
guys.
Surely we're super available.
Well, as fast as hopefully we can keep up with you guys as fast as you put stuff out. We may not be able to.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
So thanks to you guys. We don't know where this path is gonna bring us, but surely if it brings us somewhere big, we're gonna remember forever the few people that gave us time when we were nobody, and this is the thing we appreciate the most, because that's the most important thing. It's the biggest gift when nobody is hearing, nobody's listening, and you're still giving us time. So it's very
we're heroes for us. Thank you guys.
We're kind of nobodies. We're kind of nobodies too. So hopefully we can grow this thing together. So
yeah, that's right. We'll take off together.
Team nobody.
That's right. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Y'all have a good one.
Guys.
Gotta say hi. So have a great evening or have a great day because it's morning.
Yes. You guys. Yes, you guys too. All right.
They like
ciao.
Ciao. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good one.
Thanks so much.
Ciao.
Awesome.
All right. That was fun.
Yeah, it was very that's one of the things I like about interviewing people from other parts of the world. It's very informational.
Mm-hmm.
That we learned a lot. I think from like some things we probably weren't happy about learning, but it's like
no. I mean,
the truth is truth. It's
that's
like,
right.
I mean,
if
some media platforms would understand that, we would probably be in better shape. But
this is true. Absolutely, that's true. But
man,
we appreciate. We appreciate.
Carolina and Alex never obey again.
Yes, and their new album Trust is coming out in October. I think October 4th, actually. Hold on. October 10th. I'm sorry. It's supposed to come out on October 10th, and their debut album, End of an Era, came out in 2023. That's available on Spotify now. The first single off the new album, Never Feel, Never Fear, is on Spotify also. Very good, very, very good. And the one thing we actually didn't get to touch on in the interview is on their first album, the last track, they actually did a cover. They actually did a cover of Zombie by the Cranberries too. So I wanted to just like touch on that a little bit too. But they actually put a very interesting spin on that song, where kind of like when Bad Wolves kind of did theirs, they did more of a faithful note for note cover than Never Obey Again just did. So they definitely put a little bit of a more up tempo spin on it a little bit.
I actually like it better though.
But they did a very, very good job of taking a song and doing it justice, but making it theirs at the same time. So that's definitely what I like.
Which is very tricky to do.
It's hard to do without butchering it, a la. I hope Dana's not
Motley
watching.
Crue.
Yeah, I was about to say, hopefully Dana's not watching. A la the Beastie Boys cover that Motley Crue just did. I know Dana said he liked it, and that's fine. To each their own. That's no problem. Wasn't really buying what Motley Crue was selling as far as their cover of that song. So I mean, but yeah, they did a good job, and they're a band that really has a sound that should be able to resonate in the community, in the metal community. I just hope they're, whether it's through us or their label or whoever, whatever, I hope they're able to get the right ears on their music, because they have a really good modern metal sound.
I think so, yeah.
It's definitely heavy enough, and Carolina's voice is fantastic, whether it's her clean vocals or, you know, the new little wrinkle that she's added in. And it does have the electronic accompaniment that a lot of newer bands are throwing in there. Depending on how it's used, it can work. I've heard some bands where they kind of went too far. They went too far, you know, in one direction, and then they maybe used the electronics a little too much. I don't think Never Obey Again has done that. I think they have found a good balance. So I think if they can get their music, you know, in the right ears, I think they've definitely got a sound that, and especially for like any casual metal fans, right. I think they've got a sound that would kind of work for the casual metal fan.
Yeah, I think if you're just a metal fan in general and not really like stuck to any certain genre, that's definitely going to be a band that you want to kind of.
I think so. Yeah,
kind of like I think it's kind of like probably Breaking Benjamin caliber, I guess, would be a good fit, because they're kind of like hard rock sometimes and like heavy metal sometimes. So it's kind of like depending on the song, which one, you know. But we've always talked about how hard rock and heavy metal kind of a fine line in between anyway.
There can definitely be a blurred line for sure. And I actually think Never Obey Again is heavier than Breaking Benjamin. But I mean the overall comparison I think is pretty appropriate. I definitely don't think you're off base. Because I
was just trying to think, well, you know, maybe even somebody that I didn't bring up that I thought was very comparable to those guys too is Hailstorm. Where, you know, because, you know, Lizzie kind of does a little bit of the same thing that Carolina does with the screams and cleans and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's definitely probably a good comparison. And then, you know, Hailstorm's not, you know, typically a metal band, so they're more hard rock most of the time than metal, but they do have some songs that could definitely be considered metal. I mean,
absolutely.
So,
yeah, of course.
So I think there's some comparisons you could make, but you know, like I said, it's not that we're trying to say they're just like these people. We're just trying to give you an example. No. We're just trying to give people an example of, hey, if you like some of the bands that we're mentioning, then you would probably going to like Never Obey Again. So.
Oh yeah, it's one of those for fans of kind of things. You know, just a general kind of, just a general baseline of the sound you can kind of expect if you want to check out this particular band, whether it's Never Obey Again or, you know, Against Evil or Royal Rage or whoever. But yeah, absolutely. I'm very interested to hear the new album, because like I was telling them, the aggression they seem to have added to the new single is they definitely kind of stepped it up a little bit, you know. And even though Alex said that there's, you know, going to be a ballad or two on there, but that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, because that's diversity and balance, and that's kind of what we always kind of one of the things we kind of always not preach about per se, but you know, you don't want all 10 songs to sound alike or anything like that. So because you risk losing some people, you know, quote unquote, losing some people. So you want that, and as far as, especially on an LP, like a start to finish on an LP, you want engagement from your listeners from track 1 to track 10 or however many tracks it ends up being. So
yeah. Hey guys, yep, definitely check out Never Obey Again on Spotify, all streaming platforms, and then of course, when the new album was released, or if once they released a couple of singles before that, we'll be sure to share that as well. So,
absolutely,
yeah, good luck to those guys. Like that's a band I think is definitely going to be, from what I'm seeing already, the popularity from one album, man, they're going to blow up probably. So.
They very well could having that much.
I'm here for it. So
yeah,
we're here for it.
Yeah, having that many people following them on not Instagram, but Instagram, but on following on Spotify already.
Yeah,
they're off to a good start. I think I think any band would be happy with having 30,000 followers after their first album. I think pretty much any band would be happy with that foundation of a fan base based off their first LPs. They've got a great jumping off point.
Yeah, and the thing too is like different is maybe because of the scene there is maybe why they have so many too, because you don't have much of a scene as far as live shows and stuff maybe. So I mean that could have a lot to do with it too, but hey, take what you can get. I mean that's what you have to do, so
that's right. Get in where you fit in. Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Good luck to them, and hopefully we'll be talking more about them in the future for sure. So,
I think so. I think they're going to make some noise. I mean, no pun intended, but yeah, I think so.
And I just want to point out we had a like on Facebook from Johnny Oravsky. I don't know, I'm going to kill his name, but he is the lead singer for a band that I've kind of I did the write up on Salem's Child. So. It's pretty cool to see those guys in the chat liking stuff. So hopefully we'll get something set up with those guys soon. That'd be cool.
We're working on it. I know you're working on it. I know there's some emails going back and forth. So hopefully over the next maybe week or two we can, we get something lined up with that. But
if you're still watching, no pressure, Johnny.
No, all the pressure. All the pressure. Lump of coal into a diamond pressure. That's how much pressure.
It's pretty
and if you don't get that reference, you can Google that.
But they have a story I would love to hear, honestly. So being a band that long, and obviously they've had some barriers in between albums and stuff. So would love to hear the story and hear the comeback story as well, because they're definitely on it. I mean, from the last album, if they're going to put out music like that, dude, they
right.
It's like I said, if they'd have been continuous with putting out shit, dude, there ain't no telling how big that band would be right now, because it's pretty badass. So,
yep. So yeah, we'll kind of see where that goes. But like we always tell you guys, we've always got irons in the fire. It all depends on how long they have to stay there until we're able to pull something out. So,
well, the last 2 weeks we were prepped to do a regular show and it didn't happen.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean this kind of came together on like Tuesday, Wednesday. So
yeah.
So,
which
I mean,
I don't like in one way because I don't have time to promote it as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
But once we get everything edited and sent out to other platforms, then maybe it'll pick up there, not to hinder too much of following for those guys. So
but I mean, luckily I was able to get that promo put together. So I mean, we did get some promotion out there, but it was, let's see, what day was it? I think it was Wednesday when I got that put together. So
it was after the Metalhead Minute. So
I mean, I was able to put something together. So I mean, we probably got 48 hours ahead of time, but but I mean, we're never gonna turn down. We're never going to turn down, anybody accepting an invitation to come on, even if they would have hey, we can come on tomorrow if you want. Be like, great, yeah, we'll definitely do it. So, I mean, we haven't had that happen to where it's been quite that last minute. But I mean, even if it does, like, sure, yeah, we can pivot. That's totally fine.
Yeah,
absolutely. To have anyone come on. I mean, we do the best we can to work around everybody else's schedule. I mean, that's why we're doing this show right now instead of last
Right.
night. So we do the best we can to work around everybody else's schedule. I mean, thankfully we have the flexibility to do that, whether it's a Friday night or a Saturday. So, so it works out. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. Let's see. Anything else we want to talk about before we hang up here? So.
No. I mean, if anyone's been around for the last little bit, I mean, they can see some of the headlines that are scrolling down below. So there's been a few things that happened this week. So, but
And as always, you can check out the Metalheads radio at stream.trulyradio247.com/8008/stream. It is streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and new music uploaded there weekly. So you can always go in and check it out. It's usually you don't hear the same stuff all the time, but if you do, then we can definitely make that change for sure. So
yes, we can.
Yeah, sometimes you got to reset the station, which I do. I try to do once a month anyway, just because it does. Because when you add stuff in, sometimes it doesn't pick up on it right away. So you try to do that. But
so sometimes we have to restart the queue. But anyway, but at the same time, you guys out there can help us with that. If there's any songs that you want to hear that you think we may not have on the station yet, send us a message. metalheadsuniteusa@gmail.com is our email address. You can send us a message to any of our social media platforms: Instagram, X, Facebook, Twitch, Rumble. I should know all these off the top of my head by now. On TikTok, and I think TikTok was actually the only other one. And over on our YouTube channels. I mean, we're live on YouTube right now. We're live on X. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitch. So anyone stopping by, send us a message whether we're live. Send us a message if we're not. If there's anything you guys want to hear, any comments on the show, we will be glad to listen.
All right. That being said, as so far as we know, next week will be a regular Friday, but we know how quickly that can change. So
this week was a perfect example of that. I had all of my content started, and we've been holding on to a theme of the week playlist for the last 2 weeks. So I mean, it's ready to go so we'll have it ready to go.
I have to go, but I don't even remember what it was now. So
well, we're not going to tell you guys on air. So
I'll tell you on air.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you on air. So,
all right. That being said, hopefully we'll see you guys right back here next week at our regular scheduled time, Friday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Unless something changes, we will let you know on our socials. So you need to follow us over there if you want to know anything up to date. That being said, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Keep those horns held high. Jump in that pit anytime you can.
Have a great week, everybody. Thank you.